G'day gamers, my name is Nevgiddy Mums Biscetti, and today I got the top 5 best loadouts that you need to try. First up is the Rpk Snakeshots, and let me tell you, the versatility of the Rpk Snakeshots is amazing. The Snakeshots are absolutely overpowered in close range scenarios. Like, you can clear any building and most likely 99.9% of the time win those duels. It is amazing. And then for the Rpk, it's fantastic for mid to long range, and it can also be very versatile in short range engagements if you're already scoped in. Because the ADS is a little bit let down, because that's what most LMGs and heavy type of guns are. The ADS lets it down, but the recoil is very minuscule and the damage output is nuts. As you can see by these clips, they're an absolute machine. And I recommend you trying this at least once because its combination is kind of scary. So for the Rpk and Snakeshot setup, make sure you have the perk package Vanguard equipped, as I think this is possibly the best perk package to have, especially when you don't have Overkill, as Overkill is probably the worst class in terms of perks, but because you're running the Snakeshots, you don't need it. So whack on Vanguard and a dual charge and stuns are very helpful end game, as well as clearing out campers. Now for the Gunsmith, for the Rpk, you want the Taq-56 7 barrel, recoil steadiness all the way up and all the way to damage range. And you want the Polarfire S with aim down sight and bullet velocity all the way. You want the FSS laser and the VLK4. Don't tune this. Every time I try to tune it, it just makes it seem a little worse. You may want to put the ADS one on, but I'm not too sure. And then I have overpress rounds, tuned to damage range and bullet velocity. You can choose to use armor piercing, but this is the one I used and it works absolutely perfect for me. Snakeshots is nothing is tuned on this, and you just want the AFTAC arrow, the Revo LSD, the Bryson, the Snakeshot ammunition of course, and the Akimbos. The next gun is the Taq-V and the Fennec. Everyone knows the Fennec is the fastest TTK submachine gun in the game. If you haven't tried it, you need to try it. But paired with the Taq-V, it makes the deadly duo. These guns are fantastic for trios and squads, as you can easily switch to each weapon and do massive damage in close range combat. Taq-V can also be a very good mid-range weapon. It does suffer a little bit on long ranges if you can't control the recoil, but in mid-range, short range, it's fantastic. And with the new map, a lot of the fights you do take are close to mid-range battles. Sometimes long range in the end zones, but mid-range is probably the most times you take this fight, and the Taq-V is absolutely dominant in this space. 100% do recommend trying it, as well as the Fennec, because the Fennec is the fastest TTK submachine gun, and I do expecting it to be getting nerfed sometime in the future. This one is an iron sight build. You can change the iron sight off and put a 4 times on it. You just have to remove the stock, but for the iron sight one, it's the Taq Brute stock, tuned to ADS and aiming idle stability, precision 6 barrel to recoil steadiness and aim down sight speed, the TYLR8 for recoil stabilization maxed and gun kit control max, and then phase 3 grip under barrel with the recoil stabilization and aiming idle stable, and then the 30 round mag. You can take this off and put the optic on, and make sure you use the 4 times optic, as it's the best one for assault rifles and it does no sniper glint. And when you want to tune it down to aim down sight and leave this like this. And that's the SCAR, or the Taq-V, sorry. And then for the Fennec build, you just want to have the laser, phase 3 grip, tuned to recoil stabilization all the way to aim walking speed. For this one, have ADS down sight and aim walking speed for the stock, the agile assault one. Fennec rubber grip, tuned for aim down sight and sprint to fire speed, and then the 45 round mag. The next gun is Taq-V's sister, and oh my god, the Taq56 hits it in every bloody place that you need it to hit. Woo! God damn! Taq56 is, in my opinion, is better than the Taq-V. It's a lot better medium to long range engagements, and it's also versatility in close range engagements as well. Similar to the Rpk, but it has faster ADS and I would say higher damage output in certain areas, but the long range is definitely Rpk. Taq56 is fully auto, and it does some absolute tuning to the enemies. Pair this with the Mp5, and you got a great combination and a great versatility to clear buildings and to take long range fights. The Taq56 somehow is very good iron sights, but you can choose to use the 4 times optic if you want, making it a little bit more recoil stabilization and giving it more range and accuracy. For the twin sister, the Taq56, I prefer to use iron sight as it just somehow just feels so smooth with the iron sight. And you want to have the Tundra Pro barrel tuned to recoil steadiness and damage range. You want to have the Echolus 80 suppressor to recoil smoothness max and bullet velocity. The Taq56 recoil stabilization and max, and this one left in the middle. The 40 round mag and the Tacure brute stock, all the way to ADS and all the way to aim walking speed. You can choose to use the 4x on auto, but I don't recommend it, as having this stock increases the ADS and makes it really good for close range, medium range, and long range engagements. The secondary, I've been running the Lockman sub. I don't recommend using the drum mag. I was playing around with it, but it's still a very good attachment to have. So if you want to have this build or not, you can remove the mag, because if you're running duos and solos, you really don't need it. And instead, you want to put this rear grip on and tune it for ADS and sprint to fire speed. And it'll be very quick to ADS. You want to have overpressured rounds, damage range up, and bullet velocity all the way up. And have Singard MKV all the way to ADS down and all the way up to bullet velocity. The F-Tag M sub 12, recoil standards all the way up, and ADS speed all the way to the left. And then you want to have the VLK LZR 7MW laser. And that is the MP5 build that I do use, and it's really good. Next gun is the RAAL LMG, and whoo, it is a beamer, man. If you haven't tried the RPK and you haven't got it leveled up, but you have the RAAL leveled up, try the RAAL. Trust me, it does not disappoint. It is an amazing medium to long range gun. Its fantastic recoil stabilization is amazing. The only downside is the ADS time if you've got the 4x on. The 4x is really needed for them long range, medium range engagements. But if you don't use that, you can use the iron sight, and the iron sight is amazing for close range to medium range. Pair this with the MX9 submachine gun, and you got a wonderful combination. MX9 is a very fast ADS as well as damage output submachine gun. I would say it's better than the MP5, but not as good as the fennec, as the fennec is the best in the game. You can switch the MX9 out for the fennec or the MP5 if you wish, but I would say just give it a go, because you might fall in love. I really do like the iron sights. I'm a bit of a weirdo like that, but the iron sights for me are really good, and it helps me aim a little bit better compared to the other iron sights in the game. To use the 4x, you can choose to use the iron sight, but having the 4x allows you to get that extra range, and it really feels like a long range weapon. And for the barrel, I put the Rhino barrel 21 on, and I left it completely nulled on this, and I put all the way damage range, F-Tag Reaper muzzle, ADS all the way max, and all the way max for bullet velocity, and then the SA side grip. I kind of put it halfway with ADS, recoil stabilization, minus 21. And I put a little bit up for aiming adjustability, because if you put it to max, it makes it really slow ADS and makes the recoil a little bit more unbearable, but with that kind of negates it, and it ends up being pretty good. Damage range max and bullet velocity max. And then the optic, of course. You can choose not to use the optic and put on this rear grip here for ADS. It is pretty good, but I do recommend using the 4x. And then for the MX9, which goes really well, you can switch in between subs. Like you can put the MP5 in for the MX9, or maybe another gun like the Kastov 74U, but I do recommend the MX9. It's a really good submachine gun that you should try at least once. You have the rear guard 508mm, aim walking speed max, damage range max. Have the 32 round mag, the F-Taq C11 riser, keep that in the middle and put ADS speed all the way down. Then have the Bruin G305 grip wrap, ADS all the way down and sprint to fire speed all the way down. Makes it really quick and easy to beat in close range engagements, as ADS time is probably the fastest, if not a little bit better than the MP5, and then a 32 round mag on it. The twin brother loadout is the Kastov 762 and the Kastov 74U. Let me tell you, this twin brother class is nutty. The 762 is very underrated in my opinion. I feel like it's one of the best machine guns in the game, especially for mid-range engagements. You absolutely fry with this thing. The recoil control is so easy, and the damage output is nuts. Pair this with the Kastov 74U for close range engagements, and it is nutty. The movement speed on the Kastov 74U is nuts. With no stock on it, it does counter with the recoil stabilization, as it won't be able to hit anything past 40 meters unless you're really lucky and somehow a god at recoil control. But anything outside 40 meters, you're not going to be hitting anything. but under the 40-meter range, especially in buildings and streets and stuff like that, it beams. It is such a fantastic gun to pair with the Kastov. You will need to have extra assault rifle ammo in your backpack because they both take the same assault rifle ammo, which is a downside to it. With the Kastov 762, I use the FSS Oil V laser, the Kastov 10.584mm barrel with no tuning, and then I use the Polarify S muzzle tuned, recoil smoothness max and bullet velocity max. I use the 40 round mag and the VLK4 optic not tuned. This build absolutely melted for me and was fantastic. I didn't play too much with the tunings with the barrels because it fluctuates as the ADS time, and sometimes the ADS is very crucial, but with this build it just has that little low recoil and has that fast ADS. So I didn't mess around with it too much because it's actually really good. Don't over-tune some of your guns because it could be making them a lot worse than they are. And then for the Kastov 74U, I got the FSS All F laser. I got the Zen drop grip. It is tuned all the way to ADS speed and aim walking speed. I got the Eclipse 80, tuned to recoil smoothness and bullet velocity. I got the Demo X2 grip, tuned to recoil steadiness and sprint to fire speed. You can change this and put on an optic, like a red dot sight if you want. I did that a couple of times and it does feel quite nice, the red dot on it. But if you do like the iron sights, use this grip. And then I put on the VLK stockless. This makes it a really amazing running gun. You're absolutely, I'm pretty sure this is the fastest moving submachine gun compared to the other ones I've shown you today as well. And I really do recommend trying this at least once because you run so fast and you can do actually some movement with it compared to the other SMGs. And that's it for my top 5 loadouts. Please let me know if you tried any of them because some people have already tried them and they say the Rpk Snakeshot class is a great class. It's still one of my favorite to this day. I will be trying different guns and more in the future to test and balance and see where these other guns land. But at the moment, these are the top 5 loadouts in Warzone 2. And if you're not using them and you use them now, I guarantee you'll see an increase in performance in your own ability as well as kills and placements in Warzone. Best of luck, and I hope you get them victories.